So today I went out with a couple of friends to celebrate my one friend's birthday, and we all went out and got drinks and had a good ass time. Came home, crashed on my bed, woke up 5 hours later and said, hey, let me do a video on My Hero Academia because I haven't done one on this channel yet. And while I'm not the biggest fan of the entire series as a whole, I do admit it is pretty good and I have been keeping up with it. And the point I'm trying to make in this video is why I think Izuku Midoriya, Deku, our main character, should kill Tomura Shigaraki instead of saving him. I'm gonna get into that in this video right now, so let's get into it. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Guac Papa Dustin, whatever the hell y'all want to call me, back at you again with another video today. Now, jumping right into this, I know some people are going to look at the title and everything and think, why do I think Deku should kill Shigaraki? The whole point is of Deku trying to save Shigaraki rather than kill him. All for One is the real villain here, and yes, you are correct in that. While All for One is the main villain, the entire point of My Hero Academia is passing everything on to the new generation. That's what All for One truly wants, Shigaraki to be the next him. He wants to be his vestige so that he can continue on this legacy, All for One's legacy. The same way Deku carries on One for All and, through his body, through, being passed down from All Might and all the other vestiges. It's about raising up the new generation of heroes, but then also, All for One, raising up the next generation of villains. Keeping this war of good and evil going back and forth for all of time. But I think there's a deeper meaning to Deku killing Shigaraki rather than saving him. And I don't mean in a vengeance type of way where Deku just goes buck wild and ends up killing him. I mean in a different way. I mean as in he might not have any other choice but to do it. Think back to what Gran Torino said when he said he should have killed Shigaraki. Sometimes saving people is killing them. It's the same thing you can see in American comic books and even other anime and manga. Even characters like Spider-Man and Superman, even though they hold back as to not kill most of their enemies and would much rather, have justice to be served to them, they will go out and kill their villains if need be. I want you to think back to that Man of Steel movie that came out in 2013 when Superman fights General Zod and General Zod is about to kill a bunch of innocent human families.
Don't do this! Never.
And right there is exactly what I'm talking about. Superman killed Zod, not because he wanted to, not because of vengeance, but because he had no other choice but to do it. And yeah, doing that tore him apart, not because he had to kill him, but because he really thought he could save Zod because Zod was the last of his people. Superman was truly the last Kryptonian. Even when you look at a fight like Goku and Frieza, when Goku gives Frieza the energy and tries to leave and Frieza fires that final attack at him and Goku hits him with that final blast and sends him away. Goku clenches his fist, believing he truly could have changed Frieza, that by giving him his energy and walking away, maybe Frieza would turn over a new leaf and never do harm again. The Emperor would be gone and Frieza could be a new man. But unfortunately, that's just not the case. Sometimes there are people who simply don't want to be saved, and I think that is a test that Izuku Midoriya has to go against when going against Shigaraki. The final test he has to go through in order to prove that he can be the #1 hero. This entire time, during the fight with Lady Nagant, during the fight with Stain, he's been told things about the Hero Society that him as a young boy never knew. All he saw was All Might's bright shining smile, giving hope to the rest of the world, and seeing the goodness that came from Hero Society. But we see in his fight with Lady Nagant that recently happened in the anime that that's not always the case. That deep down, underneath the sparkle and shine of Hero Society, there are people like Lady Nagant who serve to maintain that image, even if they have to get rid of threats, and so people don't know about it. Manipulating everyone from the shadows and making everyone think, putting on this facade that everything is okay when it really isn't. Even Stain acknowledges this. It's been a main thing. Even though Stain was defeated early on, his ghost still lingers throughout the entire series, showing that the Hero Society in and of itself is nothing but a sham, and even though he could shout with his words, he had to take extreme measures just to prove his point. And we see that after this Paranormal Liberation War, how many heroes break down at the sight of all the damage and casualties that happen when facing Shigaraki and the Paranormal Liberation Front. And even though Deku is going on this vigilante run, trying to be the hero that everyone needs so that he could be the next hope for the world, be the guy that can be there to save everybody, I think him killing Shigaraki would show him that he can't save everybody. That even though he reaches out his hand, even though he has good intentions, even though he'd give the clothes off his back, some people just don't want to be saved. And is Deku willing to make that sacrifice in order to save everyone else? It's the age-old question of morality. Has anyone ever been told this scenario about the train coming down the track and there's two tracks with people tied to it? One track has one person tied to it, the other track has 5 people tied to it, and there's a lever that switches between the tracks as the train is oncoming. And you are given the choice on who to save. Do you flip the switch and save the one person but kill the 5? Or do you flip the switch and save the 5 but kill the one person? Deku would have to face that choice against Tomura Shigaraki, and is he willing to do what needs to be done in order to protect the world that he loves and wants to protect? Is Deku willing to kill the 1 to save the 5, or is he going to kill the 5 to save the 1? His fight with Shigaraki is the perfect example of this. Is Deku willing to go ahead and do what he needs to do in order to save society? It would be his true final test of his heroism. In order to be the #1 hero, is he willing to do the unspeakable? The entire story of My Hero, Deku's story, isn't just him becoming the #1 hero, but learning what all comes with being a hero. He's learned that he's had to train his body and get stronger in order to use all the quirks he's been bestowed upon by All Might. He's had to learn to contact with all the other vestiges. He's had to learn the different motives of his peers, of his classmates, and he's seen the different perspectives of all different villains. He's seen that even people like Endeavor, who are top heroes, can be flawed and have terrible family lives caused by him. He learns of the burdens he has to bear while having all these quirks, while having all of this power and wanting to be a hero. Being a hero is more than having a costume and getting all the recognition. It sometimes requires sacrifice, and sometimes it requires you to make rash, tough decisions. And is young Izuku Midoriya willing to make those decisions in order to better and help society? That, in my opinion, is why Deku shouldn't save Shigaraki. In order for him to learn that there are some people in this world that don't need help, and sometimes he might have to make a decision he wouldn't want to make. And is he willing to do it? But that's just my opinion. You guys let me know what you think now in the comments below. Anyways, that's just a quick video I wanted to put out for you guys today. Let me know what you think. Should Deku save Shigaraki, or should he have to make the hard choice and put an end to his life? You guys let me know what you think down below. Anyways, I thank you guys for watching this video. Be sure to follow all my other social media down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.